having a lot of problems with our computer, which is preventing us from going on live on our PC or our MacBook rather. So by now you've probably heard Nick Mason says AI might be a good idea when it comes to Pink Floyd. What do you think? Well, first of all, before I go on anymore about AI creating more music, future music from after the lineup changed. Well, after in 2008, Rick Wright died, and the keyboardist for Pink Floyd. Once he died, then the classic lineup of the four guys, that was over. It's kind of like when John Lennon died. You're never going to get that. Nick Mason's idea with AI, and it's a fun idea. It's a fun little thing to talk about. It's just never going to happen because, well, Roger Waters is not going to give him permission to do that. And I doubt David Gilmour would, because basically they all would have to do that. But Nick Mason's idea is to do music for Pink Floyd, what Pink Floyd would sound like after everything disintegrated. And I think that's a good idea. In and itself, then you're not trying to reproduce the Pink Floyd. I gotta turn, it's so freaking hot in this car. You're not trying to create the Pink Floyd in its heyday with Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here and The Wall. You're trying to imagine what Pink Floyd would sound like. So at least on that level, I kind of agree with it. It's just never going to happen. He just wanted to see what it possibly could sound like. And they were ever going to do that with the Beatles, and they kind of did that when they cleaned up John Lennon's vocals on that last track. It would have to be on that level. Hi, David. Was wondering if there was a problem doing Richie Henman interview. Nope. We already put half of it up. Half of the Richie Henman, you're a little off topic, but that's okay. Richie Henman's interview is up. It's on the Canadian channel. So anyway, that's up there. And we're putting the second part up actually tomorrow. So AI is going to be part of future bands, whether we like it or not, because eventually the music will be taken out of their hands, right? Most people are selling their rights to their music, and or what Kiss is doing, the rights to all of them. They're the visual part of who they are. And eventually there will be people who own this music. And man, as I'm thinking out loud, I'm going to go, that aren't included, that aren't part of the music, right? That's what's going to happen. So there's going to be these huge companies that own this music, and they're going to go, well, we don't care. We're going to build more of it because we own the rights to this. Eventually that is going to happen. Oh, David, don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. But anyway, Richie Henman is up there, and we're releasing Jim Henman this week. The whole interview. We're releasing David Henman this week for April Wine fans, but mostly on the Canadian channel. Rock History Canada, by the way. So, would you care if Pink Floyd releases new music? Lorraine says, hey, Steve Hackett has his solo band touring with Genesis Music, and he sounds great. And he's keeping Genesis together. But there is going to be a hunger. Here's another point. A hunger for this type of music as we go forward. I'm not one of those new music sucks guys. I don't believe in that. I think it's very disrespectful to say that to so many new musicians who are trying just as hard as the guys in the 70s, some of them, to do their music, right? So what do you think? Would you be interested? You might not have it. Again, you're not going to have a choice. This music will be out there. People will be playing this music. They'll call it semblance of Pink Floyd or whatever, but it's going to be out there. It's just that it's not going to happen while David Gilmour and Roger Waters and whoever owns the rights to Rick Wright stuff. But it's opened up a can of worms today, because a lot of people have gotten a hold of me and said, oh, you should do something on this AI Pink Floyd thing. And again, as I started doing this thing today, right here, talking to you, I started going, oh, that's never going to happen. And then as I'm live on with you, I start realizing, oh, eventually they're not even going to own their own music. Someone else will own this music eventually, and it's going to happen. There's too much money at stake here. What would the Beatles, every band, known to mankind. If there's interest and if there's money to be made, eventually they just won't own their own music anymore. Steve Porcaro just sold his rights a couple of weeks ago from Toto. The curious person will want to know whether they have a stake in it or not. The normal audience. If you hear a great song and you go, wow, that sounds great, then you'll be interested. A lot of Barrett says a lot will depend on intellectual property laws. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But eventually, if they, like Kiss, sell the whole package, not just the music, you know, then whoever owns that will be able to do whatever they want with it. Maybe not with the old stuff. Well, even with the old stuff, variations of different songs. You know, the Stars on 45 crappy stuff. So there you go. And how about the tribute bands that play Pink Floyd? Brit Floyd, thanks Lorraine. Joss Lieberman. Hey, what's up? Well, the title tells you what's up. That's what we're talking about. My hair was crazy today, and so I had to put this on. And a lot of people have been asking about this. That's just, it wasn't a cancer spot, but I had to go to a doctor because I just had a very sensitive spot on my nose. And he said, let's zap it. And I went, okay, sure, let's zap it. Let's do that. But he said it wasn't cancer. It's just, get rid of it. So there you go. As I was talking to you live here, I just started realizing this is going to be a huge thing in the future. Ted Harrington said, isn't most of Taylor Swift's music AI? Oh, come on. Really? Yazdan says, do you ever feel like the music these days doesn't have the soul? Oh, no, I do feel that, but it's different. You know, I'm not just saying this because I have a fear of sounding like an old man going, oh, music was good in the old days. I'm not just doing it out of reaction to that. But when I hear people like Rick Beato or what's the other guy? The guy who always wears the hat, the Mormon dude. He's really good. A professor of rock. Yeah. When I like their videos and I respect them an awful lot. I like the Professor of Rock. I like the way he presents himself. But when they say that new music sucks and stuff, I just feel that like they're just trying to make. You can drive. It's okay. I got it right here. Say hi, Shan.
Hi.
She was just checking on her friend's place, who's out and about. Anyway, so when I hear that, I understand it's different. Your music's going to be different now than it was before. Pink Floyd, because that was a perfect situation of, that's what that was. If you cannot hear me, if anyone, oh, okay, here we go. The Bluetooth is picking it up. Can you guys still hear me? Your better half has arrived, Alex says. You can drive. It's fine. I don't know why it won't hang up. Can you guys still hear me okay? The Bluetooth is picked up. So someone please tell me if you can hear me. Yep, okay, good. Um, this has opened up a can of worms. I just started realizing this, the AI thing. It's not about getting permission, as I'm thinking out loud from David Gilmour and Roger Waters and the estate of Richard Wright. After a while, they're not going to own it eventually. So it's not going to happen now because Roger Waters, I can't see Roger Waters ever letting this happen in a million zillion years. But eventually, Roger will be gone, like a lot of us. But eventually, someone will have a vested interest in doing this. And why wouldn't they? Whether you agree with it or not, you you got to look at it this way. It's sacrilegious. They're still going to do it. So there you go. Yes, with a slight delay because it's on Bluetooth. Hey guys, I just wanted to get this point across. Doing some interesting videos this afternoon. We near the end of the month, we always do crunch time where we always go, okay, we've got to, if we're behind, we have to put out a lot of videos, mainly because of finances. Slight delay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go, and please keep commenting on this. Would you be interested? Your ears will let you know if you're interested in new music that's AI oriented, because eventually, whether you like it or not, you're going to hear it in the background. And I used to say I hated Celine Dion. Didn't like her music at all. And then we were on a road trip, Shani and I, remember that?
I do.
And I was tapping my toes to it unconsciously, not realizing that I was tapping my toes to Celine Dion music. And I went, well, that's a good song, right? I don't like looking at her because she just does all these gymnastic things, but she's a very talented singer, and that's the way it goes. She was great at the Olympics. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'm rambling. The reason I'm rambling is I just woke up. I just woke up, so I'm a little sleepy. Anyway, thanks, guys. Love you guys. John